We first noticed Asher was having difficulties with learning when he was about 5. We ended up having him privately tested, and of course it came back that he was dyslexic. It was super overwhelming. There was just list and list of all these programs. So we started talking to people and felt like everybody was just saying something different. I hired the lady that had tested him. She tutored him for a year, one-on-one, 4 days a week. She came to me and was like, it's not working. Thankfully, she had met Dr. Conway. She just highly suggested the Morris Center. From there, my husband and I got in touch with the Morris Center, and Dr. Conway spoke with us over the phone, and you could just really tell his expertise in dyslexia.
Enroll your child or teenager at themorriscenter.com, or for virtual sessions, visit nowprograms.com.
This is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network. Welcome to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Your host, Felice Gerwitz, is an author, a publisher, and your radio show host. She will encourage, educate, and inspire you with answers to your most pressing questions, from homeschool, marriage, parenting, and much more. Felice loves to equip moms to live a Christian life because every moment counts. Be sure to visit her website at mediaangels.com. And here's your host, Felice Gerwitz.
Hey friends, and welcome. Felice Gerwitz here with another episode of Vintage Homeschool Moms. This is episode 544, and we are going to tackle holiday savings today. A shout out to Now Programs, our sponsor of this episode. Go to nowprograms.com, and their slogan is "Don't accommodate, remediate." So check them out on their website, nowprograms.com. Can you save money during the holidays? There's no way, right? Well, holiday savings can happen no matter what the season. I'm going to share some ways that your gift giving can shine, especially using some reusable decorations or regifting. So many times I am so pleased when I can find a gift for less than I would ever think I could pay. For example, I bought my grandson some amazing PJs. They had the little nativity, and they were super expensive and not anything I could basically afford to buy. And it turned out that I had this coupon saved up for 70% of the price off. So these cute little PJs ended up costing me less than $6. So there's a lot of things that we can do and save money on. I've even heard of people getting money that's in advance on their inheritance. And this happened to a friend of mine. A house was built using money that was a gift from the still living parents. They wanted to see their children spend the money they left while they were still alive. So the opportunity wasn't because the family couldn't afford it. It was because it was a gift. And my friends ended up buying this house at a bargain basement price because of a downturn in the economy. And you should have seen this house. It was amazing. It had turrets, a huge wraparound porch, and many amazing little extras like a library and a room on the 3rd floor that she transformed into a schoolroom for her homeschooling. The fixtures were brass, and there was even an antique stove in the kitchen, and the lighting fixtures were priceless. Unfortunately, the market did downturn, and they were able to get it at a really good price. But the point is that I never thought about the idea of giving part of an inheritance, which has given me ideas for the future. Not necessarily giving my child a lot of money, but the idea of gifting them while I'm still around items that I would gift them when I'm gone. So while you may not have $1 million to gift your children for Christmas, this idea can spur you to think about things you do have that you would like to give your kids or even grandkids. What have you inherited from your grandparents and aunt and uncle that you could give without hard feelings to your children? Here's a list of some of the things I have and not necessarily all I would give away today. But as I was thinking about it for this podcast, it was amazing the list I came up with. For example, I have some awesome petrified stone that my kids all love, and when they were younger, they used to look at it and want to keep it in their rooms. These were from state parks that now outlaw for this type of removal, and they were gifted to my husband by his mom and dad. I have large conch shells. These too are no longer allowed to be removed from the oceans, but I found 2 of them when I was scuba diving as a young adult. And those are things too that my kids loved when they were littler and asked if they could put them in their rooms. I have some crystal, fine china, expensive glass artifacts, all things I've inherited. I have jewelry that I've inherited. My husband has quite a few tools. We have furniture, especially anything you plan to replace. We have machinery, and I have some art. Some of my kids may not appreciate these gifts, but others would. And there are many meaningful ways to give or re-gift. I put that list together just to give you an idea of looking around and thinking about what you can give or re-gift. What we do around here, because there are so many of us, is that Christmas time is a time for smaller gifts, and birthdays is when I concentrate on the larger ones. Early on in our married life, none of us had much money, so when we gathered with my husband's sisters, they were way more frugal than I was by a long shot. I was always so impressed at how creative they are. One sister took a wicker basket and turned it into a clock. She put an electrical clock face on the front, and in the back it had the place to put the batteries. I had this for so many years, and what gave her the idea was the fact that I had wicker baskets of all sizes hanging on the wall around my kitchen for decoration. What a great idea for so little. It probably cost her under $5, and even today it would probably cost about that or $10. You can get so many things at the thrift store. In fact, if you go on Pinterest, you can find so many ideas that are really doable. The big thing about gift giving is you have to know the person you're buying for and how you can use this knowledge to your advantage. Sure, there are gift cards, but one of the things that I really like about gift cards is I turn my credit card cash into gift cards that I give. This is normally a good way to redeem your points, but it changes depending on the cards. And I use this for stocking stuffers. I also look for early Black Friday deals. Some restaurants offer $10 gift cards with the purchase of $100 in advance. And if you frequent a restaurant, it's a good idea to stock up. There are also some deals on attractions. The zoo, aquarium, and all the attractions. And here in Florida, we get a Florida rate. While $89 a person can seem steep, the price is normally $140. So if you're planning to visit a unique location, you can check out a Black Friday sale ahead of time and save a ton of money for whenever you do go visit. I love the idea of gift cards for services. When my kids were little, I would tell them to create gift cards as gifts. So we got all kinds of things like I would get a neck rub or a car wash or even cleaning my glasses. I wore contacts so much of my life that when I switched to glasses at home, I couldn't stand not even a speck of dirt. So that was another gift I got often, were really cool ways to clean your glasses with all kinds of gadgets that they bought. You can suggest gift cards for services, and your little ones can participate doing that. Thrift store shopping, once again, is something that I have recently appreciated, okay? Don't hate me if you've loved thrift stores forever, because I just recently learned the value of some of them. My best friend from high school came to visit a few weeks ago, and I offered her the option of going to the high rent district in our area where there's some really opulent stores to just go browse. We weren't planning on buying, or to go to the thrift stores in the same area and she opted for the thrift stores. And she knows her stuff. We ended up getting amazing finds. In fact, she bought a wonderful place setting of china for less than what it cost for just 4 plates. And there were so many different things and specials and sales that we took advantage of. I gained some wonderful candle sconces for on top of my fireplace for bargain prices, and I would have loved those as a gift. And as I was looking at them, I said, well, what candles would I put in them? And she said, well, the candles you have in the bathroom where I'm staying, and they were battery powered, and you can even change the color. So I changed them to an orange tint for Thanksgiving time. And I can change them to green when it's Christmas time. So while it may be hard to buy a gift from a thrift store if your family is not so inclined, others may find value in these gifts, and you can find some great things. So you can definitely use thrift store items for decorations. And another thing that I have done throughout the years, and this is not from a thrift store, but I purchase tablecloths in 2 colors that I use all year long. I have the deep red colors that I use for Christmas time and the golden that I use for birthdays and different times of the year. And I pair them with different colored napkins depending on the season. I use these cheap clear glass plates for my expensive quote-unquote tableware. And if they break, I'm not heartbroken because I have an easy way to replace them. There's a store nearby where I can buy them. And they are so wonderful and festive looking, and I just use the cloth napkins with, they're actually wood shower rings that I've repurposed for this, for my napkin rings. So it's really cool. So look and think about what you can recycle, regift, or make for your family and friends. One of the treasured items these days is baked items because so few people bake. Many of us homeschoolers bake, so you may be thinking, gosh, Felice, what are you talking about? I bake all the time. But you will be surprised at how many people that you probably know that don't. And so one of the things I started making this year is sourdough bread, and I finally kind of perfected it. My sourdough is a little bit different. It doesn't have the big, huge holes in it. It is still light and yummy, but it has turned out really well, and we really like it. And I have started baking and giving that away as gifts. So it's wonderful if you have something that you do and can give away like that. For those who don't like to bake, one of the best gifts I received from a non-baking friend is dipped chocolate items. She used these beautiful, huge dipped pretzels, and they were the hard ones. I can't seem to ever buy them that they're not all broken. But anyway, hers were all intact, and she dipped them in chocolate and then had a really pretty white chocolate design on them. And she had them in a really pretty clear bag and tied them with a bow. And they were really good. And some were white chocolate that she had sprinkles on. So that's a wonderful gift. And she put them in a basket with a bow. Again, very festive. And bargain sale prices, right? Not that expensive. Gift baskets are always well received, especially when created with love, which is a standing joke in my family. When we cook, we say, well, I made this with love. And so hopefully your food is made with love as well as your gifts given with love. We recently started making homemade pasta with our pasta machine that I've had for over a year, and we finally took it out because, as one of my granddaughters said, how can we be Italian and not make pasta? And she's only like 1/8 Italian at this point. No, maybe she's 1/4. But anyway, she's so funny and loves to cook. So we started making pasta, and it came out absolutely delicious. And once we perfect our drying out process, this is another gift-giving idea. And pasta, yes, can be purchased for pennies, but it does not taste the same. Our homemade pasta was delicious. So brainstorm with your children. Their ideas are often hilarious, and your spouse, and come up with a budget and see what you can make, and also re-gift. If there's something that you might give your kids at some point in time, maybe you want to give them that ahead of time. So I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas season with less stress to break the bank, and hopefully some gift ideas that have been spurred by this podcast. I also have some links in this podcast of other podcasts that I've done on saving money during the holidays and last minute shopping and so forth. So you can find that in the show notes in today's episode. So once again, you can find them at Vintage Homeschool Mom, Holiday Savings, episode 544. If you've enjoyed this podcast, give me a star rating and leave me a good comment, I hope. Oh gosh. Take care, everybody. God bless, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Visit Felice at MediaAngels.com and TheVintageHomeschoolMoms.com. Vintage Homeschool Moms is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.